As Victoria's plan for Nate shocks everyone, Summer confronts Nick and Sally about their relationship. Nate informs Victoria that he has scuttled their takeover plans. Devin confronts Nate, and Sally has to call Adam about Connor on today's episode of The Young and the Restless. Sally is having workplace romance thoughts with Adam at Newman Media when Summer walks in. Summer encourages Spectra to sit down despite Spectra's protests that she's too busy. She is demanding to know the status of her relationship with her dad. Sally says they're just friends, but Summer has seen them cuddle and knows it's more than platonic. As far as the redhead is concerned, they're just pals. Summer has just learned that she possesses these. Even though they've been staying out of each other's way recently, Summer's distrust of her remains unshaken. The thought of her dating her dad is really unsettling. Sally says that she has changed and is no longer who she used to be. Summer suspects that she is trying to use her father as a means to get leverage over Adam, and asks whether this is indeed the case. It's obviously something dishonorable and sneaky. Her father is more deserving of something pure and sincere. He has a strong want to save hurting people, but Sally is a train wreck. What he actually needs, Sally replies sarcastically, is more praise from his daughter. Nick ventures to the Grand Phoenix's rooftop and finds Adam lounging around all night. Adam suggests he go back down the stairs and turn around. Perhaps there isn't enough food or champagne for the two of them if they are caught up there. His brother is demanding explanations for why he lured Sally there last night. He assures her that she will not be drawn into yet another sibling rivalry. Adam assures him sarcastically that she is not in the thick of things and advises him to continue acting the hero. Nick let them have last night to work things out on their own, but should he be shielding her? His sibling explains that he is not a masochist who enjoys torturing himself. He has stopped being a beggar. Therefore she is free to do whatever she pleases. He will inevitably come in second place behind one of his siblings. The black sheep hexes are real. Nick challenges him to decide if he will take responsibility for his actions and accept responsibility for this new reality, or continue to blame and punish others for problems he himself caused. Adam reassures him it's okay to tell Sally he came through for them again. Devin informs Lily at Chancellor Winters that Tucker was taken aback by his suggestion that he tried to take over the company. Initially skeptical, he eventually realized he had no idea. His father would never do something like this. After what Nate done, he has no idea who he can trust. Once seated, she reveals that she too is in disbelief over Nate's actions. She is so distracted that she can't get anything done. He gets it, yet agrees that this is the best way forward. Lily explains that Nate was vague about his collaborators and that this was intentional. Though Devin is convinced that they should cancel the IPO at this point, she is not quite ready to give up on the plan just yet. Although they argue about it, he will not let anyone else to potentially ruin the half of the business that he owns. It's up to Jill to confront him if she has a problem with that. Nate visits Victoria in her Newman office. She reassures him that there is no obstacle they can't cross together. He admits that he was the one who let their plot be known to the world. That's a crazy thing to do, she says. He confesses that he had finally convinced himself that this was the best decision for them until Elena broke up with him at the office. She's sorry to hear it and upset that she might have contributed to it. The Newman reveals that she had a talk with Elena and made things worse. Nate tells her she is not to blame. To him, Elena's action just served to shed light on the situation. When he imagined he could make this happen, he was kidding himself. He had an innate sense that Elena was right. He lost her and his family, two things he desperately needed to hold on to. Because of the trouble he's in, Victoria feels terrible and fears that Devin and Lily will come after her. Nate reassures her that she was not discovered and that the blame has instead been placed on Tucker. Because of this, she now believes that their coup attempt has not yet been defeated. Tucker won't be a prime suspect if they're scrutinizing her instead. What does Nate have to lose by selling her his shares if he has already lost everything? As he puts it, he was never the official owner of those shares. Also, he has made up his mind that he does not want to be the one to sell them. To show his confidence in him, Neil gave him a board seat. He still has time to try and rescue his loved ones if he takes action right now. He was just trying to be loyal to his loved ones, and she has no right to be furious with him for that. She values his protection of her greatly, so she promises to help him find work at Newman as a thank you. With a grin on his face, he says something. In order to fill the jet with strawberries, Kyle places a call to Jabut. Adam, looking unkempt and confused, wanders in, and he wonders what's wrong with him. He foretold to his father that Newman would be a burden, and each day he does nothing but prove himself right. Adam is confident that he will report the incident. When he tried to explain, it seemed if he was talking a foreign language. He will never be understood by men like Kyle. Kyle is praying it is so. He walks away rather than try to stop him from making a bad situation worse for himself. During the summer, Summer and her dad go to society. She begs him to assure her he won't fall for a girl like Sally. This has the potential to be quite bad. She's a snake, and she still hasn't gotten over her exes. She feels terrible thinking about him experiencing the same things her dad did to her mom. Nick assures her she need not fear. He is fully capable of handling any situation that may arise. She shifts the conversation back to her concerns about Phyllis and Diane after he switches the subject to her upcoming honeymoon. As Kyle comes, Nick leaves, but not before his daughter warns him that they will have to pick up where they left off. Kyle sits down, and his wife immediately informs him that she has spoken to Sally and Nick. The idea that there might be benefits to their friendship disturbs her too much to consider. In addition, he claims that Adam arrived sluggish and disoriented. In order to fully enjoy their honeymoon, they decide to put an end to this. Sally walks inside Crimson Lights and discovers Connor reading a book there by himself. To take him to his dad, he assumes. He suspects that she and his dad are no longer together. While settling down, she sends a message to Adam, and Connor chimes in to tell her that his father's disposition improved whenever she came around, and now he's back to his frowning ways. Their conversation ranges from his hockey career to his family. Disputes with parents, she assures him, will pass quickly. He says his mom still thinks everything is good, but he's convinced her otherwise. Here comes Adam. When Nick visits his sister at her workplace, he immediately suspects that something is wrong. She reveals that after Nate had second thoughts, the takeover agreement fell apart. Nick is relieved to hear this. Victoria, sympathetic to Nate's plight, has decided to shift her attention inside. As Sally's replacement at Newman Media, she has her sights set on Nate. To her brother's mind, this is an overreaction, and he rightly points out that Nate has shown himself to be highly loyal to a number of different causes. Victoria maintains that he has demonstrated his loyalty and trustworthiness to her. He's proved to her that he's capable of doing the work. Nick recommends they give him another career, but she says Sally has never got the required qualifications. The CEO of a company needs to have education and experience beyond that gained by trial and error. Nick strongly disapproves of this action, but she agrees to put it off for the time being. As soon as Nate finishes work, he goes straight to his empty penthouse. A moment after he sets down his keys, Devin knocks on the door. Devin wants to know exactly what's wrong with him, therefore a thorough explanation is required. Neither one of them has any motivation to withhold information.